Coach, just a couple more quick house cleaning things from the last game. Joey Baines, I think that was his first significant time. I don't know if we touched on him after the game, but also Beckford, the receiver, is a guy that we've not seen before. Just is there any background on him or what he's done for you to earn that spot in the game last Saturday?
It was Max Baines' first start. Joey's the pops. Played here for a while. Nah, but I mean, when you're down your top 6 offensive linemen from the beginning of the year, you got to play somebody. I thought you did okay. I thought you did all right out there. And then Beckford's just a little try-hard guy. He was, we did a lot of motion stuff against Memphis, and he's the best I got at that. I don't want to wear Speedy out on doing a bunch of motions. So he was a guy we could plug in there to do some motion stuff that we thought would gain us some advantages. He's a little walk-on. He's from Miami. He's getting a red shirt this year. He's played in, I think, 2 or 3. And then he'll have 3 to play.
Dana, from a development and looking to the future standpoint, what would you like to accomplish these last 2 games?
Yeah, you gotta, we're still about this year's team. We got to play Tulsa. We got to play Navy, and we're gonna do everything we can to try to win. I've never lined up in anything in life and not tried to win. So I think our team needs to have some pride about themselves when it comes to that. It's still about developing as coaches and developing as football players and continuing to improve on our schemes. Our commitment level to the University of Houston has never been stronger. Myself and the coaches and whatever players, want to be a part of this program moving forward, better have some pride about themselves and continue to practice and play at a very high level. So whoever is going to be a part of that needs to have that kind of mindset, period. And that starts today in practice. So, we got 12 days left of this season, and nobody's happy with being 3-7. I'm sure they're saying the very same thing up in Tulsa right now, because we're 2 very, very, very similar teams when it comes to the schedules that we've played, how we've been competitive, and what our record is. You look at them based on the last time they played, which was 2 weeks ago. It's unfair that they have 2 weeks to prepare for us and we have 1 week to prepare for them. But that's a whole nother conversation when it comes to scheduling and all that. But they play hard, man. They're physical and they play hard. We better have the same mindset. That's going to be a hard game up there on Saturday night. So have some pride about ourselves, coach hard, go practice hard, line up and go play hard. A quick reminder that everybody's being evaluated. I'm being evaluated, and coaches are, and players are as well.
I know how much head coaches love to talk about their punters, so I'll bring Dane Roy up. And just I was wondering if there's anything unique background-wise about your process of getting to know him since you've arrived. He's kind of a unique character.
Yeah, I had some stats. I got stats on my desk I meant to bring down here because I wanted to get some of this stuff out there. But he interesting guy. I've talked about Dane a lot. He's an interesting guy. We all know his story. He's team captain. He's doing things that I've never seen. I've never had a guy be able to do that. I'm always really irritated when we have to punt. Punting is a reality. To the point where I'm kind of over the fact that we got to punt now. I actually watch it now. Usually I just get mad and yell at people, and now I'm actually watching the punt because it's he's doing things with that football that I've never seen. So, but he needs to start getting some recognition, some national stuff. He's number 2 in the country in net. he's pinned more inside the 10. I think he's pinned 9 inside the 10. I believe that leads the country. So you pin. He's only had one touchback. As many times as we've kicked it towards the goal line, he's only had one go in the end zone. So I got to get these stats and get some stuff out there because he needs some national attention as far as what he's doing. I mean, there's, the Ray Guy Award is I mean, it's an important award that they give out at that award show there at the end of the season. He needs to be there. Where do they have that thing? Is it Atlanta now, or is it? It's Atlanta now. He needs to be there now, and if he's not, something's wrong. Everybody knows we punt a lot, so he's an interesting character that is playing at a very high level and needs the recognition that he deserves.
A quick follow-up. He told us just a few weeks ago we asked about the pro potential there, if there's any interest, and he didn't seem very interested. He said he's got plans to go back to Australia and get married in the spring. Any thoughts on that end of things? Do you think that's something he might reconsider down the road, or good for him?
Well, I know his plan's always been go back home and get married and work. I mean, that's what his plan's always been. I don't know. You'd have to ask that. I mean, like I said, I've there's an age deal. The NFL usually doesn't draft punters very high. The only one I've ever seen drafted high is the Dixon kid from Texas. That's an Australian that went to Seattle. That was the best one I've ever seen. Watching him do things. I mean, he was a magician with that stuff, and he came out early, so he was a younger guy. So the NFL draft, they want to draft youth when it comes to that, because you put that kind of money into a guy that when you have to draft him, you got to put money into him, and it's harder when they're older. But that's not my job. That's not. I appreciate Dane. He's a fun guy to be around. He's having a heck of a year, man.
He has some interesting ideas, and I know you've kind of hit on a little bit about the 0 week idea with the, replacement. I don't know if it's replacing the bowls or having the bowl games at the beginning where there's interest and all that. I mean, where do you stand on that in terms of that idea? And you think it would ever have a chance from an international?
It was my idea to come up with it. I've been promoting that thing for like 2 years. I started dealing with this. I dealt with it a lot last year, and you're going to see it happen a lot. I mean, guys aren't going to play in bowl games. I mean, if there's quote unquote, in my opinion, there's no bad bowl games. They've all been good. Unfortunately, we're not going to one this year, which is disappointing and unacceptable on a million different levels. But I had, I think, 4 or 5 guys sit out of the bowl game last year. We're in that CFP talk, all year, and then we didn't get in it, and all of a sudden this bowl game's not good enough for some people. You're going to see it happen a lot this year. It happened a lot last year. It's going to continue. The attendance is going to go down. It's just there's important ones when they expand the playoffs, which I think they're going to expand the playoffs. It'll probably go to 8, and then it'll probably go to 16, and then what's going to happen after that, I don't know. But the neutral site preseason bowl games are very popular. And they're happening more and more. So, they're usually not in school at that point. I mean, the NFL's playing, high schools are playing, so why can't college play? That doesn't make any sense to me. I would rather, there's a health factor on it too. I mean, guys are here all summer, so it's not like we're bringing them off vacation earlier and we got to pay for more, right? So they're already here. So why, they're cutting down practices so much to where you got to play. And the quicker you can play, the better. And then that gives you an opportunity to have another bye week or start these playoffs earlier. So I think some things are going to happen. Did I miss anything? Good enough? I promote week 0. We need to play week 0. I don't want to say too much more because bull people will get mad at me, but